Good morning, ladies. Happy Wednesday midweek. I hope your day is off to a fantastic start and that you've got a great day planned ahead. Yesterday, I was supposed to go live and share my story and why I chose TrûAura, but I was home with my little one who was feeling very, very ill and throwing up and just not feeling good, and so that mom duty needed to come first. And that is one of the big reasons why I do TrûAura and why I love having my own business. So this morning I got up and got the kids off to school. I love that part of my day. And I thought, you know what? Now is the perfect time for me to go live and share my own personal story. You guys have heard from some of the other amazing frontline leaders that have shared why TrûAura for them, and so many of you have said, wow, I can really relate to that. And that is what this is all about, is we are real women with real stories, and we're looking for real women who want more. So I thought I'd go live and I would share my own personal story. So I have been in direct sales now for over 13 years. That's a long time. I never ever imagined this would be my life, but you know, there's always a plan for us. And so I am just going to share with you kind of my background and how in the end I have chosen TrûAura for my forever home. So back up 13 years ago, I guess I could start out earlier in life. Excuse me. I am a twin, and my sister Andrea has always had perfect, flawless skin growing up, and I was the opposite twin who had really bad cystic acne all of the time, really bad rosacea, which is the redness on the cheeks, and it would even come down my neck from time to time and on my forehead, and I had a lot of scarring on my face. And we came from a little tiny town, and so in our little tiny town of Malacca, for some reason, when you're a twin, they put you in every class together. And this really is the beginning of my story because I needed something more for my confidence, for my own skin. So we were in every class together growing up, and people would always say to me, I'll never forget this, don't worry, one day, April, you'll have great skin like Andrea too. And that's all I ever heard. Now, don't get me wrong, my mom was amazing. She tried everything. She took me to the dermatologist. She took me to every kind of party. She tried everything at retail stores, out on the market, things you could order online, on TV. Tried everything to try and fix my skin so I could be a confident little girl as well and not always feel like I had to hide my skin. But nothing ever worked for me. So I fast forward to the age of 23. I had a great job. I was working corporate in the cities. I had my two older children, so Dylan and Avery. I was commuting an hour and a half one way to work, and I was still totally having awful skin. And I was struggling with that. Well, I'd worked for this great company, and our employee trainer, she was incredible. Her name was Joni Pickard. I will love her for the rest of my life. I remember we became such good friends at work because she would train me and teach me things and there was light up a room. I remember looking at her and thinking her skin was so beautiful. She had a confidence that I wished that I had. And when she literally would walk in a room, people would just stop and watch her. And you were drawn to somebody like that. Well, I remember she came up to me one day and she goes, "What are you doing tonight?" And I said, "Oh, nothing," because I used to just sit in my little cubicle office, and I would think, God, I wish that I was home with my kids. Oh man, I'm missing this game tonight because I just won't get home in time. And I remember saying that, but she goes, "What are you doing tonight?" I said, "You know, let me check." And I checked my schedule, you guys, and I had nothing for once. Now, I felt kind of bad because I should go home and be mom and do that, but man, to have a mom's night out, that sounded pretty good too. So she says, "What are you doing?" I said, "You know, I don't think I have anything." And she goes, "Why don't you join me at a party tonight? You know, it's just a little ways away. Grab a friend, just come join me. It'll be fun. April, you need a mom's night off." And I'm like, okay. So I messaged home and said, "You know what? I'm going to be a little bit late. I'm going to go join up with some of the girls here." Of course, I called my sister Andrea because when you need a friend to a party, you bring your sister. She actually was free too. Drove down, met me, and we went to this party. That's all I knew I was doing. So we get to this party and I walk in, ladies, and my heart actually sank. I went from super excited to just have a night to just be me, just be April, not be a mom. And all of a sudden I saw a little sign, it was framed. So you came in the house and there was a kitchen. And it said, "Welcome to our facial spa." And to me, that was like anxiety because that meant all of a sudden I realized I was going to be washing my face and people were going to see the real April, the real skin that I was hiding. And so I looked at my twin sister. I will never forget this story because I've carried it with me my entire career now. I looked at her, I said, if we leave right now, no one has seen us. Joni hasn't seen us, nobody. We can go shopping. I will drive because we were about 2 hours from home. I will do whatever I need to do. I'm not going in there. And you know what my sister said to me? Yes, you are. You invited me. We've tried everything out there. Nothing's worked for you. Maybe this will work. And I said to her, no, it won't. I've tried everything, even things from the dermatologist, and they know their jobs, right? And she's like, we're not leaving. So go grab a glass of wine, sit your butt down, and we're doing this. Now, this is my very sweet other half twin sister who would never speak like that. So, all right. I walked up to the sink, I started washing my face, and I grabbed 2 glasses of wine, not 1, but 2, and I walked into that living room, and I looked around, and it was, oh my gosh, I'm going to be that girl at a party that sits and looks through the book the entire time, because there were 12 gorgeous women in that room that had no skin issues, just me. And I sat there and I enjoyed myself and I listened to every single word, but here was the kicker. My friend that invited me to the party, Joni, she was actually the consultant. So I watched her and I thought, oh my God, she has such great skin, and this is why, because she's using this product line and she works full time and she does this. Wow. And I literally, the whole time, of course, I'm flipping through the book because I don't want anybody looking at my face. I just kept thinking the whole time, how does she do this? She is a mom and she works full time with me and she does this and she's having so much fun. And of course, all these thoughts were going, but that's as far as it went. At the end of the party, I said, thank you so much. I'm ready to go. And you know what she says to me? She stops me and she says, hey, April. And I said, yeah. And she goes, you should have a party with me. And I said, oh no, I don't do parties. I'm not doing a party. And she goes, why? And I said, because that would require me to clean my house and I'm tired. I'd have to kick the kids out, kick hubby out. That's so much work. And she goes, April, here. And it was at the time, our other company's acne collection. And I looked at her and I thought, whatever. And she goes, go home and use this for a few days. It was like a travel size. I know that I can fix your acne. I know that I can fix your skin. And I'm like, that's a tall order, right? And she goes, no, I can. And if I do, if you start seeing improvement within a week, you're going to have a party with me. Now, ladies, remember I had 2 glasses or maybe 4 glasses of wine by this time, and I was feeling pretty good. And my twin sister's sitting right here. And you know what I said to everybody in front of all 12 women in that room and my friend Joni? I said, okay, you fix my skin. I start to notice it truly in a week. I'll have a party for you. Heck, I will have a party every other week for you. I'll even quit my corporate little job with you, and I'll be the best spa girl you've ever had. That was the wine speaking at that moment, but I had announced that in front of everybody, and she just smiled at me. She smiled because she knew she was about to change my life. And I get emotional talking about it because she may never know how much she did for me. And so she listened, and I went home, and my sister, of course, drove us home, and I got home, and I went into the bathroom, and I set that travel size set of skincare there, and I stared at it for like 10 minutes because I'm like, it's probably going to burn my skin, it's going to hurt, it's not going to work, I'm getting my hopes up, nothing's going to work for me, this is just who I'm going to be, and I'm going to have to be really great at makeup to cover my skin forever. I don't know if any of you guys have ever felt that way, but that was me. So I opened up the little package, and I did the steps, and in like 4 days, all of a sudden, I didn't have this awful acne. And it was weird because I tried everything and it didn't burn. And all of a sudden, I came out, I'll never forget this. My son was so young at the time. I came out of the hallway a few days later out of the bathroom, and my son said, Mama, what's different with your face? And I said, what do you mean? And sorry, guys, I'm an emotional person. I work this business from my heart. I said, what do you mean? He goes, Mama, your face looks pretty. And that was a lot. That was a lot for me. I knew that whatever Joni had given me was going to completely change my life. I just didn't know how much. So I continued using it, and all of a sudden I ran out. And oh my gosh, I had to call Joni in her office the next day at work and say, fine, I'll have a party with you. Fine. Because I needed more skincare and I wanted it at a great price, right? So we set up my first party, and we did it at my mom's house. And guess what she said to me? I thought I was going to sit there with my mom and all of my guests, and she was going to do the party, and it was going to be great, and I was going to earn some free skincare. Why not? Or discounted. All of a sudden, Joni looked at me, and she says, no, 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 don't sit down. And I said, what do you mean? Because there were so many people there, and I was so shy. And she said, no, no, no. you're going to do this party with me. And I said, what? She goes, oh, I just need you to help me pass out things. It's a big, big group. I didn't know she was actually prepping me to do this job. And so she would hand me things, ladies, and I would drop it on the floor on my mom's carpet in front of everybody. And I would just follow her around, and she would say something, and I would listen, and I'd say, okay, this is for your lips, and this is how you do it. And I was like her little puppet that night. And then she did something that changed my life even more. At the end of the event, my mom and my dad were sitting there in the other room watching, and that she had all this money in her hand. And she said to me, April, I know that life's getting hard, because my life was changing, ladies, and I was going to be facing a divorce. And she knew that, you know, only her and a few people knew that. She knew that my life was going to change significantly, and I believe with everything in me, she was put in front of me for a reason, because she pulled me aside and she says, I know that you can do this. You've shown it. I know that it's working for you, and everybody in this room tonight loves our company's product. So if you would like to do this journey with me, we will do it together, and we will work hand in hand, and we will work up this company, and we will change so many lives. And if you'd like to do this with me, then here you go. And I filled out the consultant agreement with her that night. I don't know what I was thinking. And she put all of that money into my hand. And I remember it took my breath away, because I thought, okay, I knew her from work. She was a good friend, and I was in such awe of her. But I had no idea how big her heart was until she did that party that night, and she put that money in my hand, and she says, April, I'm going to change your life if you let me, and you can trust me, and I'm going to be there every step of the way. And I filled out that consultant agreement, and I took all that money, and I made her hold that consultant agreement for a week, because I just didn't know. I mean, that was such a big thing. Like, that wasn't the norm. Women didn't just always go do that. You went to your job, and you clocked in, and you clocked out, and you came home, and you ran your household, and you did all those things. And hopefully that was enough for you. But it made me start to think, like, maybe there's more for me. Maybe if she changes my skin, I can do that for somebody else. And maybe I'll be okay as my life changes and I start over. And your heart and your mind just start to go crazy. I don't know if you guys have ever had this feeling in life when you're about to do something new, and all of a sudden your heart just goes crazy. And so all of a sudden I called her and I said, put my consultant agreement through. And I was committed, because that's who I am. When I make my mind up about something, I was committed. And I remember the next day I went to my parents, because I didn't have a lot of money. That money she gave me helped me get my kit and helped me get into the company we worked for so many years, and it changed my life. And I remember the next day I went to my dad and I said, Dad, I really want to do this. And he thought I was crazy. And he supported me, but he thought I was crazy, because again, it wasn't the norm that a woman would go do something so courageous and so different. And like, she could be really a business owner. And I said, Dad, I need to borrow like $500. And I didn't even need that much, but I just wanted all those products, because I wanted to go and I wanted to share. Because it's kind of like, if you guys go to Target and you see a sweater there and you absolutely love it. You guys know what I'm talking about. Or something at Target, because we all love Target, and you're like, wow, I love that. Even if you don't buy it for yourself and you see one of your best friends later on, or your sister or somebody, you're going to say, oh my gosh, there was the best sweater at Target, and it would be so great on you. And she'll probably go and buy it, right? It's the same concept. If you love something, you share it. And I wanted everything, because I wanted to share it. And so my dad looked at me and he goes, how long do you need this money for? I said, I don't know, like 3 weeks. Would that be okay? And he's like, April, that's a lot of money for 3 weeks. Are you sure you're going to have it? I said, yeah, I'm going to have it. I'm going to do this. He said, okay, don't tell your mom. And he handed me the $500, and I walked out and I drove home, and I'm like, can I really do this in 3 weeks? Like, I can't fail. I have to make this money back. And ladies, I went and I scheduled a party with my sister. It was literally 3 days later. She got all these women over, and I went and did that party. I had no idea what I was doing. Joni had made me little note cards, step 1, step 2, step 3, and little tips and tricks about each product, so I would know something to say about the products. I'd only been using it for just a few days. I didn't even have my kit yet. She borrowed me products to go do it. And at the end of that party, I wasn't even adding up all of the orders. Everybody left, and I sat with my sister. She goes, how much was there in sales? I said, I don't know. And I grabbed my phone, and I started adding it up, and I was like, there's $1,500 in sales here. And my sister goes, what? No way. God, they loved it. And I go, I just sold $1,500. And I looked down and it hit me again. I'm going to cry again, ladies. I grabbed my phone and I took my percentage of that because I was going to get 50% or close but to whatever I was going to make was going to be good because it's more than I had when I walked in. I made enough money to pay my dad back the very next day, and I had an extra $200 to go put groceries on the table and in the refrigerator for my kids and me. That's when I knew that that's why these women do these businesses, because it truly could be the littlest thing for somebody, but the biggest thing for somebody else. So that next day I drove down to my mom and dad's house. Sorry guys, I have to share the story because you might be me. And I walked down into my dad's little man cave room and he was sitting there and I had $500 in cash in my hand because I went to the bank and I put the checks in the bank and I ordered the products that I needed and the rest was already in my account and that was profit. And I walked into his room and he goes, what's wrong? Why are you here? Did something happen? And I said, no, I'm just here to pay you back. And he goes, no, it's only been a few days, April. Where'd you get that money? I was like, what did he think I did? I never did anything bad, right? And I go, no, I'm just here to pay you back. And I literally walked up to him and I put $500 cash, 5 $100 bills on the table in front of him. And I turned around and I walked away. And I was upstairs talking to my mom, and I'm trying not to cry because for me, that was the big moment that showed me that, yep, April, you can do this. You can so do this. My dad comes running up those stairs and he goes, April, where'd you get that money? And I said, Dad, I did a party and I made that money. And he goes, what? I said, I was only there about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and that's the money that I made. I don't know how I really made it, but I made it. And he looked at me and he goes, huh, didn't say he was proud, didn't anything. That was okay. He didn't need to. But I proved to him that I would follow through with my word and I would do it. And I went grocery shopping and I got groceries and I even got some of my kids' favorite snacks that normally I would say no to because it was too much money. And all of a sudden I was like, okay, I started doing 8, 10, 15 parties a month. And all of a sudden me and the kids were okay. And we were going to be great. Now you might be thinking, April, how did you possibly leave your kids that much time? Because I was still working my full-time job. But man, I was having fun. I had sit my kids down again. They were very young. And with my sister's help and my mom's help and my friend's help, I had a little meeting and I said, look, I truly think that I can do more for our family. And I can give you more if you just give me like 2 or 3 months to just work super hard because I know I've seen it. I know I can do this for you and I'm going to work so hard. And I've got training and I've got coaching and it's a great company. If you could just help me take care of the kids so I go to work and then I go on maybe an extra 2 to 3 hours and I'll come home and I'll make this happen. So what I did was I went to the Dollar Tree and I would figure out how many nights a week I was going to be gone a little extra because, ladies, my life was changing significantly. I needed this to work. And I went and I got little balloons and little trinkety toys. And every morning when they would wake up, I would have a balloon tied at the end of their bed or a little prize on the end of their bed because that told them that Mama was going to be a little bit late tonight when they got home or when I got home, but that I was doing something for them. So every morning they'd wake up to a little balloon or a little thing, and some weeks I was gone 3 or 4 nights in a row, but they were okay with it. And then I would come home, ladies, and there would be a sign on my front door that said, welcome home, Mama, how did you do? They were watching me, little kids watching me, and they knew I was working so hard for them and for me and for us so we would have a good life. And in 3 months I had, in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, I had promoted up the leadership ladder in that company because I was working from my heart and with faith and belief, and Joni was there every step of the way. She was coaching me and training me and mentoring me, and I literally don't know what I was doing, but it was happening. And then all of a sudden I promoted to a director and I earned a trip to Disney World. Disney World. That was never something I could have ever done with my children, ever, because I couldn't afford it. My life was changing. It's falling apart. And I remember I had to push that trip out for a while, and that was okay, but I took them to Disney World, and they were so hot, and they were so little. But I have pictures of that. That was one of the biggest things that I accomplished, and that told me I was in the right company. I had a company that supported me, that loved me, that I maybe wasn't the norm, that I had that other job, but man, I had this. And I was so proud of it. All of a sudden, my skin had cleared up. My rosacea was gone. I wasn't wearing makeup all the time. I was wearing it for fun, not because I had to. I was making friends. The friends that I have in our old company and in our new TrûAura, man, these are life-changing friends. Friends that I didn't just have. Women that they wanted the same thing. They wanted more for themselves, that we loved each other and we supported each other. And the friendships, the money, the lifestyle, all of these things came. Well, I went through my divorce. It was very difficult, and I ended up by myself for a while, and we were okay. And then all of a sudden, you know, one of my best friends from high school and I ended up falling in love, and it was great. And it was crazy. I mean, this is many years, right? I remember he got laid off and he had no money coming in. And I remember looking back at this little business I had. We never missed a beat. There was always money. Everything was okay. We were all okay. We were starting life over together and we were moving forward. But it was my little business of helping women with skin confidence and my business of this incredible company that supported me and helped me to grow into the woman and the mom that I wanted to be, and the wife that I really ultimately wanted to be, the friend I wanted to be, the coach and mentor that, man, I just really wanted to be. That business was that to me. And so I gave it my all. I gave it my all. I ended up, you know, I'm sitting in my office right now talking to you guys, and I'm looking around my office, and there's so many trophies and plaques and awards and ribbons. And it's like, even now, 13 years down the road, I don't believe it's real. Because I look around and I see these things, and these are things that I accomplished by just taking a chance and believing in somebody who believed in me. Because ladies, all it takes is one person to have just a small ounce of belief in you, and you carry that belief with you until you find your own. That's what this is about. That's what being an entrepreneur and a mom or a boss or whatever you want to be, that's what it's about. Is just, you look around and you think, man, I did all of that, all because somebody believed in me, and all because it was a great product and a great company that I believed in. I loved everything about it. So, you know, direct sales has been my life. I've been a stay-at-home mom now for 12 out of 13 years. I'll never forget the day I left my corporate job. I was pregnant with Jordan, my youngest, and my boss. I supported the senior finance manager of a huge medical insurance company. He called me in 2 weeks before I was due to have Jordan, and he said, "April, come in my office." And I was like, okay. I waddled in there, and he goes, "I want you to know how much I appreciate you and how I know how hard you work for us in this company. And you are one of the most passionate people that I've ever met. When you put your mind to something, you get it done." He goes, "But I know you're not happy here." He goes, "I know that little spa business, skincare business that you have on the side, that's where your heart is. And I know it. So I want you, as you are on your maternity leave, take the full 12 weeks," he said. "When you come back, let's talk and see if this is where you want to be. And I don't want to lose you, but I can see it in you that this isn't what you should be doing." So I went on maternity leave, ladies, and I took the full 12 weeks, and I worked my business, and that was it. I had my business, and I had my children, and it was on my schedule. We could sleep in. We could do what we needed to do. I could fully focus on just my business, something that what I put into it was what I was going to get out of it. I wasn't clocking in. I wasn't clocking out. That was really my true run of faith. Can I do this? Well, I had to go back to work. I was there 3 days, you guys. 3 days, and I was miserable because I missed my kids, and I missed my brand new baby, and it about killed me to put them in daycare for so long. And I had just come from 3 months of being their mom full-time and a business woman full-time to now I'm going back to commuting an hour and a half one way. Now I'm clocking in. I missed my coworkers, but man, I was there just a few days, and he called me and he goes, "April, it's time." And I said, "What do you mean?" "It's time for you to go." And I thought I was being fired. He goes, "I'm not firing you, and the door is always open. I will always make a spot for you at this company, but it's time you go and do you." And instead of fighting it, I said, okay. And I walked out and I packed up my little cubicle office desk and I started walking out, and everybody's mouths were hanging open because they thought I got fired, right? And I got in the car and I cried my butt off for that whole hour and a half home, because it was tears of joy. It was tears of fear. It was like the unknown. And I was emotional because I just had a baby. And I walked in the house with my stuff, and I'll never forget, Eric says, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm just going to do me now." And the look on his face, you guys, it's shocking for a husband or a significant other to hear those words the first time. And he goes, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "We're coming into winter time. What do you mean?" And I said, "I'm just going to do me now. I'm going to work my business, and I'm going to be a mom. And that's what I want to do, because that's where my heart is. So you just watch me, because I'm going to do it." And I walked away, and I pretty much throw that box in the garbage, you guys, and I never looked back. And there's something so powerful and freeing when you decide you're enough and you're good enough, and you take everything in you. I mean, this is the moment when you dig in your heart and your soul and you say, "I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to fail, because I've got people counting on me." Life became such a beautiful thing. So I've been a stay-at-home mom now for 12 years. My son Dylan graduated last spring. He's 18. Avery is 14. She's a freshman. Jordan, my little girl, she is 6th grade. I've never missed a beat. I've never missed a beat. My daughter Avery was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when she was 9. One of the scariest moments of my life. And I never missed a beat. And every doctor appointment and every time she's sick at school or scared, I am there. And I've also helped my twin sister raise her 3 little ones, because she works at a hospital and I'm always there. So there's some days I'm running back and forth to school picking up 3 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids, but I can be there and help raise them. And when they look at me and say, "Auntie, I love you, you're my favorite," I know it's because I have been there for them. So I share this story with you guys. I know it's an emotional story, but I have to believe that some of you might be in April. You might be me, where you needed something more for yourself. You really just wanted to feel beautiful and confident about yourself and finally find something to fix your skin. That might be you. Your life might be changing, or you might have a fantastic life that you love, but you just want a little extra for your family. You might be me. That is my story, and it's a very real story. I'm a real person, and I have made it my mission for 13 years to help women all over the U.S. have incredibly beautiful skin, and to take them by the hand if they want more. Like I said, it was the $200 that I made off that. It was the $500 I paid my dad off that very first party that I did. But it was the $200 that really changed my life, because I bought food for me and the kids, and their favorite fruit roll-ups, their little snacks that I wouldn't normally let them have. That's what it was. And those are the moments I carry with me through my career, that I took a chance. I took a huge leap of faith, that somebody believed in me. My company believed in me. Our product developer believed in me. My recruiter sponsor, she believed in me. And all of a sudden I had this tribe of women that they believed in me, and they needed me, and I needed them. And we just made it happen. So when I look at TrûAura, we were in our previous company. I came into TrûAura. Before I came into TrûAura, we have the same product developer, so he's had my heart since I was 23 because he has fixed my skin. I looked at TrûAura and I said to myself, do I believe in this company? The answer is yes. Am I excited about this company? Of course I am. There's not one other like that out in the world. We get to storm the world with the first pre and probiotic microbiome friendly company. People don't even really know what that is yet. We're not saturated, so yep, I'm on board with that. Do I love who I work with? And the answer is yes. I have the women that are leading this group with me, my own personal Matheson world. I love them. They mean so much to me, and if I can have a small piece in their lives of helping to change it, whether it's by coaching them, mentoring them, being their friend, being that phone call at night when they might be frustrated because something maybe didn't go the way they wanted it to, that's what I need. That's what I want. And TrûAura had that. And their opportunity is incredible. I mean, we are founders. I'm a founder in this company, and to me, that's a big, important thing. I am here in the beginning and I'm going to be there all the way as long as I can sell skincare and help women to feel beautiful and amazing and help families to feel great about their skin. I'm going to be there. And I know that this company is right where I need it to be. So if you guys are sitting here watching this, or you even get to watch a little bit of this, think about it. What could you do different? Like, what could you have? Are you needing $300 more a month, maybe to help pay the car payment or car insurance? Do you have kiddos in sports that maybe you want to be in more sports, but you've had to say no because I know those athletic fees are not cheap? So do you need an extra $500, $200? Are you going through a life change where maybe you're not sure where the extra is going to come from, where it's paycheck to paycheck and at the end of the money there's just not enough left over? I've been there. I've lived it. I was a single mom and I lived it. You can have that in here. That can be your something extra, because everybody that is leading this with you, the consultant that invited you into this event, they're there for you and they can help you. Maybe you're to the point where you're like, I want to build a house. I've been renting for so long. I'm ready to build a house. Let TrûAura be part of that success for you. Maybe there's that vacation. Like for me, it was Disney World, and I was able to earn that with my previous company. Maybe it's like Disney World. There's a bucket list trip that you want to bring your family or your husband or your significant other or your partner on. You can do that with TrûAura too. So I hope you guys, if you've watched this, you can tell I'm an emotional person, but I am so passionate about helping women to be the better version of themselves, whether it's skin confidence, whether it's being able to stand up and speak in front of people, whether it's sitting in the back of the room and watching your very own consultants achieve greatness and just being in such awe and love, watching them just glow and be so happy knowing that you were part of that. That's huge. So I don't know about you guys, but I remember way back in the day when somebody showed me a bag like this, I was freaked out. Now I realize that when Joni offered me that opportunity and the money and all of these great things, and I was doing parties and I didn't even realize it, there's something magical about this bag. Yep, there's amazing TrûAura products in here. So you can get all 7 pieces in here to begin your business. Whatever that business means for you, 200, 300, 1,000, life-changing, extra money, confidence, growing, personal growth, that's in this bag. There's 300 in this bag, there's 500, there's 1,000. Whatever you need is in this bag. There's a company that has incredibly awesome products in this bag. The best, the best there ever was. We're the first of its kind. That magic is in this bag. And there's a lot of women that come with this bag that are ready to just have your back and help you be your best. So if you're not sure about TrûAura, I hope you are now. Ask questions. Let me know if you have questions. Ask the other frontline leaders. Ask the woman that invited you in here to this event, how do I begin my TrûAura journey? How do I change my life? Because for $189, you have no idea what TrûAura could do for you. And I think it'd be pretty cool if you found out and took that leap of faith and joined us, because we're going to change the world and we're the first ever. Who doesn't want to be part of that? So thank you guys for your time today. I'm actually going to be taking this bag the rest of the week. I have 7 parties to go do and share my love of TrûAura. And I'm so excited. I'm going to be in front of so many women that I get to just say, hey, I want to help and share my love of TrûAura. So reach out, join us on this journey. You guys won't be disappointed. You have no idea what it could do for your life. Have a great day, and thank you guys so much for hearing my story of direct sales for 13 years. Why and why I chose TrûAura. Bye, guys.